3 uploads ago, we powered up the system. And since then, we've seen opportunity rise and corruption spread. We've watched competitors fight to control this machine, but tonight, we reach the edge of the circuit. Because when the lights go down after this upload, the system won't be the same again. Our next upload, our first major event, will be called Something to Fear. And that's exactly what it'll be. Because when we reach something to fear, titles will be crowned. Rivalries will break, and the system will show no mercy. After tonight, we'll know who stands where, who earns the right to compete for gold, and who gets left behind in the dark. So I suggest every name in that locker room take a good look around, because by the end of the night, you'll know if you're part of the power or just another glitch waiting to be erased.
Cake and fucking eat you too.
It's my party, I got time when I want to, die when I want to, die when I want to. Monster you made is wearing the crown. I'll be the king and you'll be the crown. I'll take the blame for waiting around. You made me the villain you can't live without. Reciting violence like poetry. No, you can't sit with us to fashionably play.
Welcome to DWE Mainframe. I'm Automatic and I'm the voice of digital wrestling entertainment. And like the boss said, we are just 1 week, 1 upload out from our first major show, DWE's Something to Fear. As always, we got 5 matches, and at the end of tonight, we will know who is competing for each and every championship at Something to Fear. Gran Panda kicks things off against Cyrus Crowley in a first-round matchup for the new DWE Crowdsourced Championship. After that, Mr. Memo will face off against Colt Barnett in a second-round Wi-Fi Championship to see who goes to the finals at Something to Fear. Then we got Crixus Aurex seeing Peter's Rottentail in the other first-round matchup for our Crowdsourced Championship. The main event, we'll see Sheng take on Hamza Al-Sariq in a mainstream championship matchup to find out who will see Buck Dermott at Something to Fear. But up next, we got Nyxus, Corvax, and Braindead for a second-round matchup in the Wi-Fi Championship Tournament.
Coming to the ring, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighing 189 pounds, Nyxus Corvax.
And with that guided malice look in his eyes, Nyxus Corvax is going to make his way to the ring. He finds himself here in the second round matchup after defeating Jonah Yoder back on upload 2. in a back and forth matchup between the two. He was able to put on displays of both high fly action and that technical prowess that he possesses. Attempted to lock in multiple Sange sleepers, where Jonah was able to fight out of several of those, and that final one was able to kind of put him down for the count, so to speak. And that's how he finds himself here, you know, in this second round matchup to take on Braindead. Find out who's going to go on the DWE Something Fear and be crowned that inaugural Y-Fly champion.
And his opponent stands 5 foot 7 inches. He weighs 168 pounds. Braindead.
Here he comes, the king of misfire, Braindead. He was also able to secure victory back on Upload 2 as he took on Ray Carnival and was able to hit what he called that recoil and then land that 630 senton. And knowing this is just the start of our 4th upload, he's already built himself a cult-like following. And with Nyxus having the reputation he does via CCE, I mean, this matchup's got main event written all over it. And we're only here in the second round. This decide who goes to the finals of this Y-Fly Championship tournament. Braindead circles around. They're going to lock up here. A little test of strength. Nyxus is going to win that test, back him down on the corner, and as he steps out, hit him with a nice little cheap shot there. Like I said, this match just determines, you know, who's going to go to the finals of the Y-Fly Championship tournament. That's something to fear. As Braindead gets the upper hand here. The winner of this match is going to face off against either the winner of our match later tonight between Colt Barnett and Mr. Memo. That looks to be a high-paced, high-energy matchup as well. As Nyxus is able to gain control here on the ground. Showing off that technical prowess with a shot there to the midsection. Slowly but surely forking that neck. Could come back to haunt Braindead. With Nyxus given the opportunity to lock in that Sange sleeper, he was able to finish Joni Yoder off back on Upload 2. Both men make it back to their feet here, albeit Braindead helped. Nevertheless, he's into the ropes. Big shoulder block. Nyxus fired up. Oh, and a nice headbutt from Nyxus. I don't know how much protection that mask offered for Braindead as he received a nice dropping knee off the ropes. Corvax helps him to his feet. I'll look to send him into the ropes once more. Go for that shoulder block. Braindead stepping out of the way. Double club to the back of the head. Braindead seems to grab the upper hand here as he sends him into the ropes. Nice Superman punch. He's now going to look to fly early. Comes off with a big old headbutt to the midsection. Excuse me, that might have landed flush on the face as Nyxus grabbed his head. A big suicide dive off the mid rope. Nyxus wildly rolls out of the way and then hits him with another shoulder block. Nyxus finds himself back in control here of this match again as he kicks out the knee. Nice little modified DDT Drops him square in the ring. Looks like Nyxus is going to look to fly. Nice 450 inverted splash of some sorts. Believe it was 450. I wasn't quick enough to count the rotations. He sends him into the corner, hits him with a clothesline. Heads to the opposite corner to the dismay of the fans. Comes back. Big clothesline. Drops him in the center of the ring. Nice slap, kick, drop, back senton. He's going to look for a cover here early in the middle of the ring. 1, 2. Braindead able to kick out. I figured it'd take a little bit more. Not to discredit Nyxus' offense, but it's going to take more than a back senton and sweeping the feet out to finish off someone like Braindead. Nyxus brings him back to his feet. Looks to pick him up here in a powerbomb position. Gonna carry him back over. What's he got in mind here? He's got him folded up and drops him onto his head. 1, 2, and a kick out for Braindead. That's more of what you're going to need to finish off somebody like that. That powerbomb package pile driver. Try saying that 9 times fast. Braindead finds a way to land a knee and a big elbow to the back of the head. I don't know how he's standing after that. Nevertheless, here we are. He's going to send Nyxus into the corner. Big single leg kick to the side of the head. He's going to stumble Nyxus. Big super kick. To pick him up here for a single leg snap suplex. He's going to go for an easy cover. 1, 2. Kick out from Nyxus. Braindead sizes him up. A nice little moonsault. Going to go for a quick cover again. 1, 2. Nyxus once again able to kick out. Fans showing their appreciation as Braindead helps him to his feet. Going to look to send him into the corner once more. Braindead going to be a gentleman and help him to the top as he smacks him to the face. You got in mind here, they're both up on top. Big Hurricane Rana off the top. An avalanche Hurricane Rana. It's going to pick him up to his feet here. Drop him for some bridging pin. 1, 2, and a near kick out. That's 3 near falls in the span of 30 seconds. Fans showing their appreciation for the action as Nyxus hits a super kick. This might be it. There he goes. He locks in that Sange sleeper. I don't know if Braindead's got it in him to fight out of this. He expended a lot of energy after that Frankensteiner, that avalanche Hurricane Rana from the top. Braindead's managing to hold on as his fans rally behind him. Does he got enough? He's holding on. There it is. Hits him with an elbow. He's able to fight out of it. They're going to exchange some blows here. Kick to the gut, recoil. Nyxus lays, Braindead jumps to the top. This could be it. He could be looking for that misfire. That's 630 senton. He hits it flush. He's going to go for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Braindead's going to head on to Something to Fear to wrestle for our DWE Fly Championship. Nyxus was able to lock in that Sange sleeper momentarily, but it wasn't enough. Braindead found it in him to fight out of it. Hit that recoil. Find his way to the top and hit that 630 senton flush in the middle of the ring. Grab that count, secure that victory, and move on. Next up, we're going to see Gran Panda take on Cyrus Crowley for that newly revealed Crowdsourced championship.
Making his way to the ring, he stands 7 feet tall and weighs 352 pounds. Gran Panda!
As you see the big Panda on screen, probably asking yourself, how's he get an opportunity at this Crowdsourced Championship after being eliminated from the mainstream championship tournament via Sheng on last week's upload. To my understanding, the boss has it in his head that he is going to give maybe a second opportunity, a shot at redemption to previous entries into the mainstream championship title tournament that maybe didn't see the finishes they wanted. So that's why you're seeing Cyrus Crowley get a shot, Gran Panda's getting a shot, Peter's Rottentail, we'll see Crixus Aurex later on tonight. These are all individuals that had an opportunity in the mainstream championship tournament, but for one reason or another were not able to succeed in moving on.
On his way to the ring, he stands 6 feet 11 inches tall. He weighs 446 pounds. Cyrus Crowley.
Cyrus, this is more of a shot at redemption for someone like him as opposed to Sheng. Cyrus got himself eliminated from the mainstream championship tournament when he chose to use a chair and beat the living hell out of Cody Caminos, and that's Cyrus there. It's the backstage area. He's laid out. There's a chair. And it looks to be Peter's Rottentail. Looks to have gotten his hands on Cyrus Crowley here before his match. He's going to pick him up and walk him over and slam him through the table onto the concrete. Peter's Rottentail has attacked Cyrus Crowley before his match. If you remember correctly, Peter's Rottentail isn't in the mainstream championship tournament no longer because Cyrus took it upon himself to show up against Peter's match against Hamza and attack Hamza, which got Peter's eliminated as he throws Cyrus through another table. What is going on? I can only assume that that's the reason that he would attack him before the match. And I'm hearing in my ear, via the boss, that Crowley's not able to go, so we're going to have a stand-in. Fill in this first round matchup against Gran Panda in the Crowdsourced Championship Tournament.
On his way to the ring, standing 6 feet 2 inches tall, he weighs 239 pounds.
Here he is, the link to the future, Lennox Lincoln. Finds himself in this match, I guess, replacing Cyrus Crowley. I mean, I hate to be that guy, but you kind of reap what you sow, you know. Viciously attacking Cody Caminos in his first round matchup of the mainstream championship tournament. Then the following week, he comes out and attacks Hamza Al-Sariq, which got Peter's Rottentail eliminated. I mean, eventually, things like that, actions like that are going to catch up with you. Nevertheless, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So given the opportunity, one of these two will fight for that Crowdsourced Championship at DWE Something to Fear. There is only 2 matches, this being one of them, and we couldn't even get the original participants to the ring before drama kicked off. Nevertheless, it's going to be Gran Panda against Lennox Lincoln in this first round matchup. Don't know much about Lennox other than he's going to fire across the ring and try to hit a stiff drop kick. Hit him with a second one, thinking he's expecting the big man to fall. But as we can see, it's going to take more than that to drop Gran Panda. He shakes off the forearm and meets him with a big clothesline, showing the raw power and aggression that Gran Panda possesses. Lennox makes it to his feet, gonna try to hit another drop kick. And a second, at this point a fourth drop kick. Still has him teetering, but that big clothesline's gonna put Lennox down once again. I think Gran Panda's done playing games as he hits a big brain chop. Drops Lennox in the middle of the ring. Send him in the corner. Pick him up to the top, hit him with a couple strikes, and just look at the size, the thighs of Gran Panda, damn near standing as tall as Lennox, as he was perched up on that top rope. Lennox fights his way down. He's going to continue trying to land strikes here to no avail. Gran Panda with a big body splash. Standing. Big body splash. Drops Lennox. All strength, he's going to lift him up over his head and just drop him down. Lennox crashes into the mat. Just need to toss him around like some sort of rag doll. Tell you what, Lennox came firing out on all cylinders. Trying to take advantage of Gran Panda here with raw speed. Panda was able to end that quick as Lennox gets the upper hand and drops him with a DDT. A little too much showboat in there as Gran Panda was able to get back to his feet. He's met with a couple shots, combo. Gran Panda still staring it off as if it's nothing. Lennox can go right back to it. That super kick though, followed by a stomp to the midsection. Forearm to the side of the head. That seemed to have slowed Gran Panda down as he stomps on the back once more and a second time. Now that Lennox has got him on the ground, a big mid-rope moonsault. He's going to go for a cover here. 1, 2, no, not even a 2 count. He was starting to beat the big man down. He's going to land on his midsection once more. Stiff shot to the chest. That's one way. Take advantage while you got him down here. I don't know why you pick him back up to his feet. Nevertheless, he's going to put him in the corner. He's going to pick him up and show off some strength of his own as he slams him. Lennox going to climb to the top here. A big double-footed stomp to the midsection. He's going to go for a cover. 1, 2. No, big kick out from Gran Panda. Crowd thought it was it. They're going to call for it once more. He's going to continue stomping on that midsection. He folds the arm behind the back. He's got the other wrist locked in here. Pins it firmly against the mat. Proceeds to stomp on it. And I don't know that the big man himself can naturally bend like that. He goes for one more of them big stomps. Clothesline from Gran Panda. Shuts down that fury of offense. I think he had enough of them stomps. He's going to pick him up here. And he's got him in that Panda press position where he's going to look to work the lower back. We've seen him try to execute this against Sheng back during their mainstream title tournament matchup. Sheng was able to fight out, much like Lennox just did. Snaps him down to the ground. He uses that speed. Nice kick to the side of the head. Lennox jumps to the top here. What's he got in mind? He's going to come off for another one of them double-footed moon stomps. Going to go for a cover. 1, 2, 3. Lennox Lincoln's going to find himself in the finals at Something to Fear for this Crowdsourced championship. Typically a big tree like that, you want to start by cutting from the bottom and watching that thing topple. But the link to the future, possibly providing future playbooks for any opponents of Gran Panda. Just stomp him in the stomach 19 times and that'll secure a victory. Nevertheless, we're going to move on to our second round Y-Fly matchup of the evening, where Mr. Memo will take on Boots Colt Barnett.
Coming down to the ring, he stands 6 feet and 1 inch tall, weighing in at 174 pounds, the sticky one, Mr. Memo.
Mr. Memo, the sticky one, making his way down to the ring. We haven't seen him since Upload 1, where he competed in our first ever match on DWE Mainframe. against Happy Thrillmore, or he was able to secure his victory and move himself along in this Y-Fly Championship tournament.
On his way to the ring, he stands 6'1" and weighs 201 pounds. Representing Colt Barnett.
Colt Barnett was in action last week on Upload 3, where he may or may not have won his match against Chupa Vida Uno in controversial fashion. He heard the whispers, he heard the chatters, and because of that, he's requested that Boot has stayed in the back tonight and not accompanied him down to the ring. He didn't want to hear the naysayers or anybody like that try to speak bad on his wrestling prowess. So he's going to make this appearance here tonight by himself as he takes on the Sticky One in this second round Y-Fly matchup. Let's two get ready here tonight. Winner's going to move on and face Braindead at Something to Fear for that Y-Fly Championship. As Colt Barnett swoops under and for a nice swinging neck breaker. Brought Mr. Memo to get things started off here. He's going to send him into the corner, followed up with a clothesline and a stiff elbow. Sends him to the middle of the ring. Again, Colt able to secure that victory last week. Hits a nice moonsault off the third rope. Goes for a cover here. Able to get a 2 count early. But it's not enough. It'll take a little bit more than that to keep the Sticky One down. Nice scoop slam in the middle of the ring. Barnett going to go for it once more. He misses. Memo's able to wisely roll out of the way. He's going to hit him with that DDT in the middle of the ring. Memo lines up a elbow drop to the chest. He's going to go to the third rope. Hit a nice moonsault of his own. Lands flush on Colt Barnett's chest. He's going to pick him up to his feet here and send him into the corner. Help him up to the top. Nice stiff shot. What's he got in mind here? He's going to stand him up. We've seen something Avalanche already tonight. And a big Spanish fly from the top turnbuckle by Mr. Memo on Colt Barnett. He follows it up with a super kick. He's going to go for a cover. 1, 2. Colt Barnett able to kick out to the displeasure of fans. They still continue to show their appreciation for what they're seeing here. Memo attempts to put him on that top turnbuckle once more. Nice swing under DDT by Colt Barnett. Drops him. Going to follow it up with a fury of punches and a kick to the chest. He's going to go to that third rope a third time. Go for another cover. Will this be the 3? 1. Not even a 2 count. Memo able to kick out. Can't even get my thoughts out. The action's so fast-paced. Wanted to make mention of Colt Barnett keeping Boot in the back tonight. The man is able to wrestle, and he was putting it on display when he faced off against Chupa Vida Uno. Nevertheless, if you're going to have friends down at the ring, I'm sure those friends are going to do what they can to help you succeed. As Colt locks up with Memo once more here, sends him crashing to the outside. Memo lays there. Barnett plays it up to the crowd, takes off running, a big flipping senton over the top rope, lands flush on the chest of Mr. Memo. Colt might have won over some fans with that maneuver as he picks him up here in a powerbomb position. He's going to walk him over and slam him into the hardest part of the ring and then into the side of the ring itself. Dropping Memo. He's going to rain down some more punches again. Kick to the chest. Going to help Memo to his feet here. Send him back inside. After executing that over the rope to the outside, flipping senton. In the absence of boot. Looks to send Memo into the corner once more. Colt apparently has something on that top turnbuckle in mind of his own. It's like he's setting him up for some sort of suplex. Memo's able to fight out of it. Hits a shooting star press in the flush. Center in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3. No! Colt Barnett's able to kick out. Mr. Memo finding life. And hitting that shooting star press as he picks him up. Nice little running power bomb. Drops him on the hardest part of that ring. Gonna pick him up once more. He's gonna duck over. I'm sorry, duck under. Kick him in inside of the head. He's in full control now. He's gonna send him into that turnbuckle once more. Look to lift him up here to the top. Fire himself up. Crowd's loving it as the sticky one approaches that corner once more. He's gonna climb up there. Maybe look for that Spanish fly off, but he's met with some punches and thrown off that top turnbuckle. He lands flush in the middle of the ring. Colt Barnett sizes him up for that front flip elbow. This might be it. 1, 2, 3. Colt Barnett able to capitalize. Hits that front flip elbow in the absence of boot. Able to show he doesn't need anybody but his damn self. Secure this victory. He's going to move himself on. He's going to face off against Braindead at Something to Fear for that DWE Fly Championship.
At Something to Fear, 4 new champions will be crowned. But after the chaos I've seen the last few weeks, and what has occurred here tonight, I think there's room for one more championship. This place needs a division where the rules don't apply. And after what I've seen from Cyrus Crowley and Peter's Rottentail, I think I've found my first 2 contenders. So if you two want to destroy each other, that's fine. You'll do it at Something to Fear. And you'll do it for the Network Crash Championship. No rules, no mercy. Just a crash of disregard for one another's well-being.
So there it is. There were 4 matches scheduled for Something to Fear. Now we have a 5th, and it's another championship. I'm being told Peter's Rottentail is no longer in the matchup next against Crixus Aurex. He's going to be replaced by Bodhisattva in this first round crowdsourced championship tournament match, where the winner will face off against Lennox Lincoln at Something to Fear.
He weighs 273 pounds. He is the last emperor, Crixus Aurex.
So if you missed upload 1, I suggest first and foremost you go back and watch it. But the main event of upload 1 saw Crixus Aurex square off in a back and forth matchup against Boots Buckdermont, who, by the way, has since gone on to secure his spot in the mainstream championship match at Something to Fear. Nevertheless, Crixus faced off against Buck, found himself, I should say, on the short end of that stick, is now being given an opportunity at redemption, so to speak, in this crowdsourced championship tournament, where he'll face off against the aforementioned Bodhisattva, who finds himself in this match due to the actions carried out earlier tonight by Peter's Rottentail, where he viciously attacked Cyrus Crowley in the backstage area. Because of those actions, the boss has decided to have Peters and Cyrus face off at Something to Fear for the newly mentioned Network Crash Championship in a no limits, no mercy style match.
Coming down to the ring, standing 6'1", he weighs 232 pounds, Bodhi Zappa.
As he checks his time, I knew Bodhisattva was a part of the roster, but did not believe he was supposed to compete here for a couple of weeks yet. Nevertheless, much like Lennox Lincoln, Bodhisattva being given an opportunity here to compete for this crowdsourced championship, where moving forward, the stipulations, more or less the match type, possibly even who's going to get shots at challenging for this championship, is all going to be decided here by the DWE Universe. Mr. Callahan just kind of set up these initial matchups in this tournament style bracket, if you will, just to kind of get the ball rolling. But as he had mentioned last week on Upload 3, this title essentially is the heartbeat of this promotion. So it'll be excited to see what the heartbeat itself, that being the DWE Universe, is able to come up with. Both men lock up here in the center of the ring in a test of strength. And I'm pretty sure 15 times out of 10 times, Crixus wins that battle. As the last Emperor sends Bodhi here into the ropes. And a big Hurricane Rana. Not something you expect to see out of the big man. Crixus showing that athleticism. Following up with a jumping clothesline and several shots to the gut. Puts Bodhi on the mat here. Tosses him in the corner. Crixus is going to send to the top turnbuckle, which seems to be the theme of tonight. Performing moves off that top turnbuckle. He's just going to find himself up here as well. And a big Frankensteiner. Not to the extent of that avalanche we saw earlier tonight, but nevertheless, to see the big man put the athleticism on full display there and hit that Hurricane Rana, that's huge. As the last Emperor looks to secure his shot at redemption and move on here in this crowdsourced championship. Throws Bodhi down with a big power bomb. Again, the winner of this match will meet Lennox Lincoln at Something to Fear. Bodhi finds a way to fight out. Nice back senton after the combo. Bodhi helps him to his feet. He's going to send him into the ropes. Send him up sky high to fall flat on his face. My, how the mighty have fallen. As the last Emperor receives some shots to the midsection. There's a big back senton from Bodhisattva. He's fired up. He's in full control of this matchup. Going to use that strength and pick Crixus up once more into some sort of rolling fireman's carry. Finds himself on the top rope. And a big Superman punch to the side of the head. He's going to go for a cover here. Not even get a 2 count. A little too early for the last Emperor. Decides he wants to keep this fight going as he's sent into the turnbuckle. Takes a shot to that midsection. Bodhi squares him up for a nice face wash. Big shot to the side of the head. Crixus is reeling now. And just when I say that, he finds some fight in him. Lands several shots. Pick him up, drop him for that big gut check. He's going to look to cover. 1, 2. Bodhi able to kick out. This matchup decide who goes to Something to Fear and wrestle for that Crowdsourced championship. A nice suplex. The last Emperor stalks in the corner. What's he got in mind here and there? Looks like he's going to go for that Roman spear. Bodhi wisely getting out of the way as he hits a jumping knee. Drops the last Emperor. He's going to climb to the top here. Hit that swanton dive. Going to go for the cover. 1, 2. The last Emperor having other thoughts in mind yet again. It's going to take more than that as he's sent into the ropes here. Bodhi swinging under into a swinging net breaker. Proceeds to land several stiff shots to the face, and that looks to have busted Crixus open. He's going to attempt to do it some more. Crixus rolls out. Not only did it bust him open, but it seems to have woke him up here, fired him up a little bit. And he goes for one of those back handspring body splashes once more. Playing it up to the universe here. They're showing their appreciation, seeing a man that size perform some athleticism like that as he hits a stiff uppercut. Drops Bodhi square in the ring. Gonna pick him up on his shoulders once more. Possibly, yes, looking to hit that gut check once again. He's calling for it. He's in the corner. He's looking for that Roman spear once more. Bodhi makes it to his feet. Big spear. Lands flush. He's fired up. Big Roman spear landing flush. Taking Bodhi off his feet. The universe wants to see it again. There's a nice punch that seems to have busted Bodhi open. Both men bloody here. Goes for a stomp. Bodhi wisely out of the way. Drops the big man. Nice front face slam. Bodhi removing the blood from his face. He's going to hit him in the gut. Picks him up. Powerbomb lung blower. Bodhi going to hit the top, look for a second swanton dive. He's going to go for an immediate cover. 1, 2, 3. Bodhisattva is going to find himself victorious and move on in this Crowdsourced Championship tournament where he will face Lennox Lincoln at DWE Something to Fear. Bloodied was no distraction, no deterrent in keeping Bodhisattva from getting the job done. That's what this championship tournament is about. It's about redemption. It's about finding yourself being able to pull through when given an opportunity. Much like Bodhi has done here tonight, much how Lennox Lincoln has done here tonight. Both given opportunities to find themselves moving on and competing for a championship at Something to Fear. Much like these two individuals, Sheng and Hamza Al-Sariq, gonna look to find themselves moving on and meeting Buck Dermott at Something to Fear for that mainstream championship.
On his way to the ring, standing 6 feet 6 inches tall and weighing 264 pounds,
And Sheng, with that traditional performance Chinese opera mask he's been known to wear. He was victorious last week on Upload 3, where he was able to secure a victory against Gran Panda and find himself in this main event, mainstream matchup. Say that 9 times fast. Where he'll face off against Hamza Al-Sariq.
now making his way to the ring, standing 6 feet and 5 inches tall. He weighs 264 pounds. He's the last lion, Hamza Al-Sariq.
Hamza found himself in the main event of Upload 2, where he was in a back and forth matchup between Peter's Rottentail and himself that he looked to be all but on his way to securing that victory and moving on. And Cyrus Crowley jumped the fence and proceeded to attack Hamza for whatever reason. At this point, I've given up trying to figure out what's going on in the head of Cyrus. But given those attacks, Hamza finds himself one way or another in this main event to compete for that final spot in the mainstream championship, which will conclude at Something to Fear. The winner of this match will see Buck Dermott, which he told me during the week, approached me, if you will, and asked me if I wanted to be one of his bootlickers. Didn't really know how to feel about that question. Kind of just awkwardly grinned and walked away. Don't know if he was too happy about that, but nevertheless, I know he's happy about his spot he secured at Something to Fear, which I know comes as no shock to him because he said it from the beginning that him and the rest of Boot were going to secure these championships from the beginning. And with Rhythm and Booze facing off against the Bowen brothers at Something to Fear for the dual band championship, and now Colt Barnett tonight winning his matchup to meet Braindead for the Y-Fly championship, I can't help but think that Buck knows a thing or two, knows exactly what the hell he's talking about. But nevertheless, that's enough about Boot. We're going to pick up on this match here where Hamza Al-Sariq had the upper hand. Sheng was able to secure that. He's got him in a headlock here. Both men to their feet, and Hamza hits a stiff clothesline. As the last lion exerts his dominance here, he picks Sheng up to his feet. They're going to lock up once more in a test of strength where Hamza backs him down into the ropes. Referee's going to step in there and break that up. Hamza's going to send a blow. Sheng going to return the favor. Hamza going to send another back. As Wu leans against the ropes here. Going to take a couple stiff shots to the back, a third. Seems to have woken Wu up. I'll tell you what, if that didn't, that eye gouge sure did. Hamza going to send him into the corner here and follow it up with a big forearm splash. As the last line looks to run off the ropes, drop a big knee. Wu wisely rolling out of the way. Gonna pick him up, drop him with that Michinoku driver. As he stalks around, dropping a couple kicks to the face of Hamza, following up with some punches. Nice stiff one on the end there and another foot stomp. It's going to help the last lion to his feet. Look to send him into the ropes. A big single leg drop kick. As Wu Sheng's feeling it. Much like he was on last week's upload where he was able to secure a victory over Gran Panda. It's a nice suplex there. He's going to pick Hamza up here in the middle of the ring. Look to send him into the ropes. Pick him up. Pop up power bomb. Drops him flush. Going to proceed to rain down some more punches. Nice shot to the midsection. Wu Sheng firing on all cylinders. Big Michinoku driver. He's going to look to cover. 1, 2. Kick out from Hamza. Still a little fight left in the last lion. Who will move on? Be Buck Dermont. That's something to fear. Have an opportunity to be crowned our first ever mainstream champion. As Hamza looks to climb to the top here. Big body splash. Gonna go for the cover. 1, 2. Strong kick out by Wu Sheng. Not something I've ever seen often out of Hamza, going to the top, looking to splash. As he picks him up here, drops him with the oil drill. 1, 2. Wu Sheng able to kick out after that brain buster. They want to see it once more. Clearly it's going to take more. And maybe it starts here on the outside for the last lion. Going to help Wu to his feet here and pick him up in some sort of fireman's carry. Walk him over to the ring apron and hit a nice snake eyes. As the last lion shows his dominance once more in full control here on the outside. Oh, he's going to send Wu Sheng into the middle of that post. Help the big man to his feet once more. He's going to pick him up, show off that strength a little bit as he carries him around. Drops him into the ring apron. Crashing down to the floor. As Hamza looks to feed off the energy from this crowd, he receives a shot to the back from Wu Sheng, drawing parallels from his match against Peter's Rottentail. Only this time it's a strike from the palm and it's not a chair to the back of the head. Nevertheless, sends him hard into the steps. Those are just as unforgiving as that steel chair shot. Wu Sheng gaining control here again. Picks the last line up. See what he got in mind here. He slams him into the ring and then into the side of the ring apron. Some pretty hard parts of the ring there as he spits out that mist. Sends Hamza back into the ring. He follows the last line, provides another shot, stiff shot to the midsection. He's going to pick him up once more. Look to hit that Covenant Cutter. Position himself good here. 1, 2. And a big kick out from Hamza. The last lion still having a little fight left in him. How much is the question? He's going to receive a couple more shots. He's going to pick him up. Look to hit that halo breaker. Drops him. Going to look for that immediate cover. This could be it. 1, 2. No, the last line kicks out. That might have been it, and that would have sent Wu Sheng on. Face Buck Dermott for the Mainstream Championship. Last Lion catches a kick. Returns a kick to the midsection. Hits the Dune Crusher. Flush in the middle of the ring. This could be it. Hamza's going to go on. 1, 2, 3. No! Wu Sheng able to kick out. I thought for sure that was it, as Hamza, the Last Lion, hit the Dune Crusher square in the middle of the ring. Look to size him up once more. Goes for that kick to the midsection. Wu Sheng catches it. He has him up in that Halo Breaker position. He hits it flush. He's going to look for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Wu Sheng's going to move on, and he's going to meet Buck Dermott at Something to Fear for that Mainstream Championship. With the biggest turning point in that match being Hamza, the Last Lion, on the outside of the ring, showing his appreciation to the DWE universe, allowing Wu Sheng to take full advantage of that situation and gain the upper hand. He was able momentarily to hit that Dune Crusher, but it proved not to be enough tonight. Wu Sheng able to return the favor and hit that Halo Breaker. Same Halo Breaker we seen him finish off Gran Panda. Could it be the same Halo Breaker we see at Something to Fear and help him secure that DWE Mainstream Championship? Only time will tell, but with that, the card is set. DWE Something to Fear. Braindead looks to throw a wrench in the plan of Boot as he takes on Colt Barnett for the Y-Fly Championship. Cyrus Crowley will meet Peter's Rottentail in a No Mercy, No Rules match for the Network Crash Championship. Boot members Rhythm and Booze face off against the Bowen Brothers for the Dual Band Championship. Newcomers Lennox Lincoln and Bodhisattva square off one-on-one for the Crowdsourced Championship. And in our main event, Wu Sheng meets Buck Dermott, Mainstream Championship. Who will stand atop of the mountain? Find out next week. DWE, Something to Fear. As always, do me a favor, call your mother, tell you love her. My name's Automatic. I'm the voice of digital wrestling entertainment. Thank you. Good night.